To care to him who shall have borne the battle, and for his widow and his orphan. These are the words from Abraham Lincoln that he promised to the veterans, which the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs honors and serves by fulfilling President Lincoln's promise. Hi, my name is Ricardo Chong, and here my topic is the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. The VA, as its acronym is, does not just provide compensation to the disabled veterans, but also other important benefits like education, employment, medical treatment, and dependents, survivors' benefits to integrate them back to society. So anyone here that have relative or individuals in the armed forces knows that compensation alone cannot be sufficient to sustain these veterans and dependents for the cost of living. So what else is offered? So today I will talk about the different types of benefits offered to veterans and dependents and survivors, starting with the VA and the healthcare system, then education and training, and finally dependents and survivor benefits. So let me turn your attention to what the VA offers in the healthcare system. According to Williams and Philip in the New England Journal of Medicine, the role of Veterans Affairs Hospital in the healthcare system on June 1990. The VA medical care system plays an important role in education of medical professionals in the U.S. since it contributes to biomedical and clinical research, those providing medical care to indigent and eligible veterans. More or less what it means is, so the healthcare system here in the U.S., what they try to do is try to promote a more efficient system. They try to remove the redundancies and allocate the resources where it's needed. Especially now with a growing group of aging veterans who will need improved medical support, and more so with all the veterans that are coming out of the wars that's happening around the world. Another benefit is to minimize the need to institutionalize aging veterans by improving ambulatory services. Healthcare service benefits usually is covering right now close to an amount of 30 million Americans, but that is an outdated number. Those numbers are very low compared to what the veterans are coming out of the war at this moment. So eligible people for these benefits are those who serve in the armed forces who have been honorably discharged. Needless to say, if you were dishonorably discharged, you will not get those benefits. Other groups that do get those benefits also are the National Guard and the reservists, who may also qualify for the VA benefits. Some of the healthcare coverage, which includes not only towards veterans, but also women's veterans, readjustment and counseling services, along with mental health care treatment, prosthetics, and sensory aids. One of the coverage that is not mentioned often but is very important is the cover for the spinal cord injury disorders, which it leads to the use or the production of orthotics and prosthetics. Example other coverages could be sensory aids, assistive technology, chronic pain management, mental health, peer counseling, substance abuse treatment, or rehab. Now that we know some aspects of the VA healthcare system, let me turn your attention to what the VA can offer in education and training. Education and training for service members and veterans. One of the education benefits that veterans might receive is what they call the post-9/11 GI Bill, which is an education program for those who serve after September 10 of 2001. The cost in state tuition and fees for both private and public sectors could be amount to, according to this, is $13,871, but the figure is outdated again. It's close to $7,500, which is not much, but it is some. Also, you receive a monthly allowance if you decide to go to school. Book and supplies is also included, $1,000 a year, and a one-time fee of $500 for relocation purposes. Besides the post-9/11 GI Bill, which you much haven't heard about, the one that you're more familiar is the Montgomery GI Bill, which is another educational VA training benefit. This may be used, doesn't have to be necessary after September 10 of 2001, but may be used while on active duty or after duty with fully military discharge. The type of training available for the veterans for readjusting and investment on employment, as you can see, if you were to get just a high school diploma, your median, again, these numbers are not actually updated, it's from 2012, it will be less than $471. That will be the median of your gain in salary. But as you attain to a higher degree, let's say a master's degree, the unemployment rate will be much lower, but your median weekly earning will be much higher, close to $1,300. The type of training that you might receive from help from the VA government department could be courses that you can utilize at colleges and universities, leading to an associate, a bachelor's, or higher degree. It could be courses like a certification for the weather technician or attend a vocational school. And believe it or not, it can also be used for correspondence schools or teacher certification. With some of the notion of education and training by the VA, let's talk about the last topic, which is the dependents and survivors benefits. The dependents and survivors healthcare benefits, what it really implies is, what if the individual have died in an act of duty? What benefits these dependent and survivors may receive? So, in addition to the death gratuity payment that the veterans' families receive, they also, which could be classified as disease or injury in the line of duty while on duty, or a heart attack, or cardiac arrest or stroke. The survivors, the family receives a survivor's pension plan, which is a monthly benefit to aid the immediate family, especially those in low income level. The requirements for this dependents and survivors benefits is that the spouse must not remarry, and if they have children, they must be under 18, otherwise they are ineligible. Survivors and dependent education assistance provide qualifying dependents for completion or assistance to further their education. According to the Federal Benefits of Veterans, Dependents, and Survivors Handbook on 2012, benefits may be awarded for pursuit of associate, bachelor's, and graduate degrees and college and universities, in addition to high school diploma completion and certification of various fields. So with all these points in mind, let me put this thing in perspective. Just because a veteran is receiving compensation for disability, there's more to it than just disability compensation. There's dependency and indemnity, survivor's pension, survivors and dependents education assistance, so education, employment, medical treatment, and the payment and survivors benefits is not just part or addition to your disabled compensation for the veterans to reintegrate them back to society. So having talked about the different type of benefit offered to the veterans, dependents and survivors, started with the VA and the healthcare system, then education training, and finally dependent and survivors benefit. Overall, besides serving your country with honor and pride, there's more than just simply merit compensation for the veterans, but other benefits as well for reintegration back to society.